In the headlines, a $3 million road project coming to Stock Farm. The IRC and the Domlec tariff review matter yet to be resolved, and moves afoot to form a new Salisbury Village Council after 50 years. I am Kenny Williams with the Channel 5 News. I'll be back with the details after this. First up, another project to be funded by the Citizenship by Investment program, which will impact the Stock Farm community, has been announced. That's a $3.17 million road project for the rehabilitation of the road between the Public Works Corporation and the Dominica State College. A contract signing ceremony took place on Friday, where the Public Works Corporation was awarded the contract for the project.
This project will include the resurfacing of 1.44 kilometers of road from the Public Works Corporation to the end of the Dominica State College. It will also include the construction of drainage infrastructure and curbs, and will be complemented by appropriate road signage. The contract for the execution of these works is the sum of $3.17 million, and today is being awarded to the Public Works Corporation. The award of this contract does not only highlight the government's commitment to the people of Stock Farm and surrounding communities, the bus drivers who earn a living on this route, the parents, students, and faculty of the Dominica State College, but also reinforces this government's desire to continue to engage the Public Works Corporation and, by extension, its employees.
Senator Blanchard says government has taken into consideration an expected increase in vehicular traffic with the oncoming proposed multi-purpose indoor sporting facility.
I would like to take the opportunity to thank the Stock Farm road users for their patience and understanding as we sought to ensure that the scope and design of this project would not only meet your needs today, but also in the future. As a result, the government has increased the allocation for this project by just over $500,000 above that amount that was approved in the budget. And this was to account for the increase in the scope of works. Like most other capital projects in this financial year, the project that we're here to discuss or to sign today, the contract that we will sign for the rehabilitation of the Stock Farm Road, will be financed by funds or proceeds from the Citizenship by Investment program. It puts into context the importance of the CBI program in the overall development of Dominica, including different spheres of the economy. I wish to once again reiterate that this program must be protected to secure our future in Dominica.
Next up, the Independent Regulatory Commission is awaiting its day in court with Domlec in a matter that will affect the implementation of the electricity provider's tariff review. Domlec is challenging RIC legally over its tariff review. Executive Director of the IRC, Glenn Kahn, said that both parties are expected in court on March 29.
The issue is really one that has to deal with one specific thing, which is called the weighted average cost of capital. The IRC, after public consultation, came up with a number, 8.5%. Now, the weighted average cost of capital is what determines it's almost like the interest that you pay people if you borrow money, plus what you pay to your the shareholders. So those two things combined give you the weighted average cost of capital, okay? So they are thinking that it is too small, and they wanted a higher weighted average cost of capital. We, of course, consulted with the public, and that's what we settled on. So they are challenging what we did in coming up to that number. So once that has been settled, then we can move ahead with the other thing.
A higher weighted cost of capital, coupled with associated factors in a tariff review, could possibly result in higher electricity bills for consumers.
It could possibly do that, but it's not the only consideration, you know. So I can't say that outright. It will do that, you know. But it is possible that that could happen. But there are other factors that could lower it, because one of the things that we focus on a lot is the efficiency of the operation of the service provider.
And that rate review, so what period, what year?
It will be for 3 years. Whenever it's completed, it will last for 3 years. But as soon as we are able to start the review, then we have a window of 60 days to complete it. So once we start, you know that we should be finished by 60 days. And after that point, that's when the 3-year time will...
A professor with the University of Birmingham in England believes the election of Donald Trump as President of the United States will pose a problem for the execution of the Paris Agreement. David Dunn is a professor in the Department of Political Science and International Studies, made the comment when addressing a climate change panel discussion on Thursday. The Paris Agreement is an agreement within the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change dealing with greenhouse emissions, mitigation, adaptation, and financing. Dunn says the policies of President Trump may affect the success of the Paris Agreement.
At Paris, the Paris Accords, we actually had the first time of coming together of the world community, recognizing the importance of making at least the first step on a unified basis as human beings sharing this one globe towards that goal. And I think, although the Paris Accords can be criticized for not going far enough, and particularly true for small island states, what it was the first signal and the first framework of an infrastructure diplomatically for dealing with the issue. But of course, the retro-focused, take us back to the 1950s, make America great again focus of Donald Trump is a new complexity, if you can call Trump complex, to the situation.
The professor says the international community needs to work together to combat the effects of climate change, no matter how daunting the task seems.
And it's also important actually to recognize that the challenge that we face in terms of global warming is a really tough ask. We're not asking people to desist and doing something which is pernicious or malicious. It's actually just an everyday activity. And actually, what we're asking them to do is to recognize the damage of what that's doing and to potentially take up more expensive routes as a consequence. So it really is a difficult question to actually try and make progress on. But it's one that, while not easy, is also not avoidable. The task is an existential challenge.
The climate change panel discussion was held under the theme Climate Change, Challenges and Opportunities for Small Island Developing States. Dominica's ambassador to the United States and permanent representative to the OAS has warned the country that its options for development are disappearing. His Excellency Vince Henderson was speaking at a panel discussion on the issue of climate change, which was organized and hosted by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Henderson says the impact of climate change affects every sector in Dominica, and the options for the country developing itself are severely limited as a result.
From agriculture to tourism, as tourism is one of the hardest hit sectors by the impact of climate change, to generally development because of the destruction brought to infrastructure and the impact on government finances. Ladies and gentlemen, the options for development for small island states are very limited, and they seem to be disappearing by the day. Ladies and gentlemen, those challenges are ours to deal with, and those challenges are ours to solve.
Minister for Foreign and CARICOM Affairs, Francine Barron, says it is imperative that countries develop linkages in order to better survive the effects of climate change.
I think we all recognize that small states with limited resources have a particular challenge to be able to achieve its development goals. And we believe that we have to change the way that we do business, and we have to look at new and different ways of engaging on the international stage. I think one of the things that we have to have regard to is how can we build partnerships with others to be able to realize our development goals.
The panel discussion also saw contributions from representatives of the Caribbean Center for Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency and Head of Environment at the OECS Secretariat. Consultant at the Dominica Festivals Committee, Val Coffey, has not resigned from the post and is back on the job after walking out on Friday. When Channel 5 News spoke to Coffey after it was reported that he walked off the job due to differences with the tourism minister, he said, "See you at the show tonight and the parade tomorrow." He eventually returned to the job hours after. You are watching Channel 5 News. Much more when we return. Welcome back. A stalemate in the election of a chairman for the La Plaine-Laron Village Council caused the inauguration of the newly elected council to be postponed on Friday. Idona Jean-Baptiste has that story.
The Department of Local Government and Community Development had initially scheduled the inauguration for the La Plaine-Laron Village Council on Friday, February 3rd. However, the event had to be postponed due to a stalemate in the election of a council chairperson. Local Government Commissioner John Fontaine told Channel 5 News he and his officers held a meeting with the elected members on Friday with the aim of resolving the matter.
But we have until the 9th of this month. The inauguration must be held on or before the 9th of this month of February.
Can you explain the circumstances surrounding the stalemate?
Well, basically there's a 4-4. There were like 3 meetings so far with the prospective members of the council. And at each round of the election, the result 4-4.
The January 9th election saw Kelvin Bato getting the most votes with 248. Jason Fontaine followed him with 239 votes, and Ella Loader was the third top candidate with 229 votes, while Asha Larond got 222. The former council chairperson, Rose Blaise, tied with Onika Allen with 211 votes. Blaise did not complete her 4-year term as chairperson since the council was dissolved in November because of differences among councillors. Idona Jean-Baptiste, Channel 5 News.
For the first time in over 50 years, the community of Salisbury could see the establishment of a village council. Andrea Louis has more.
Salisbury had been without a village council since the early 1960s. Currently, road works to the tune of $276,000 are taking place in Salisbury. However, the funds are being dispersed through the Culibistry-Monrachet Village Council, as there is no village council in Salisbury. Member of Parliament for the Salisbury constituency, Hector John, says the community may see a village council implemented before the end of the year.
Right now, I am in discussion with the Minister of Community Development, Miss Lady Daniel. We spoke about it. I have spoken to the Local Government Commissioner and some other officials as well, first moving in that direction. Salisbury, the elderly folks in the community had a bad experience in the 1960s with village councils, and so they really didn't want village council anymore. But the younger generation beginning to understand the importance of a village council and how we can get government to assist us even more through the village council, and where we can do projects, undertake more projects on our own as a community. So they are very much in support of it, and we have been advocating for it. Hopefully, before the end of this year, we'll see a village council established in Salisbury.
John says there are a lot of plans on the cards for the development of Salisbury, and he hopes the establishment of a village council will position the community to benefit from government projects.
There are a lot of things, issues of health, issues of ensuring that the landscape in the community is provide for the safety and health of the community, to ensure that we have proper drainage, proper disposal of garbage, as I said, proper road, maintain our roads, ensure that we have a community, we don't have a community center in a village like Salisbury. So these are the type of things that we want to see to ensure that our sporting facilities are properly maintained, and government give us the type of support that we need. There are some things we can do on our own, but there are others that government have to intervene and make the meaningful contribution towards that. And that is what we advocate, and that's why it's important that we have the village council and a working, vibrant above board village council, and that's what we're looking for in Salisbury.
A concern that the absence of Carnival Corner and the Thunderbirds costume bands in Carnival parade competitions could leave a major void in calypso music on the road. Public Relations Officer of the 27-year-old Carnival Corner, Emmanuel Loblack, says the bands would hire a music system which mainly played calypsos.
There's something else that's going to suffer with the non-appearance of these two bands, our calypsos, the road match. Because we alone, you know, because of a song system we have, we are able to highlight the calypsos and the potential road match. We stay from morning till night, till the end of Carnival, providing music for our patrons. All right, those who are in the band, those who are not in the band.
Loblack argued that other bands on the road during Street Jump Up perform their music for the most part.
I understood that they are bringing food, serenade, and groovers on the road. What do you expect them to play? Tell me what you expect them to play. The others bands we have, CK, Triple K. What do you expect them to play on the road? It takes a song system. A song system. That is where we are coming in and providing and helping the calypsos. We must not go out and look and play Trinidad, trying to turn our carnival into a soca carnival.
And a Dubai businessman says he is impressed with the level of development on island since he started doing business here. Managing Director of Range Development Limited, the company developing the Cabritz Resort Kempinski, said from what he's observed, there has been economic progress in many sectors.
I've been in Dominica for the last 48 hours, and it's very remarkable and apparent the change which has taken place since I first started coming to Dominica about 3 years ago. The hotel I was staying in was full. The restaurant I went to dinner on the last 2 nights was full. The plane restaurant, the plane was full. The town was brimming with tourists. I heard on the radio yesterday there was a groundbreaking. The hospital is under construction. So it's lovely to see the whole economy working in unison and growing, and that economic impact, whether that's direct economic impact or indirect economic impact, being felt throughout the whole country. And development is not just isolated in Portsmouth.
Asaria has assured the resort project will be completed by the end of 2018.
I think in the last 10 weeks since the last visit of the Prime Minister and the Cabinet, an incredible amount of progress has been made. We were on the ground floor then, and now some of the buildings have roof gables being put on them. I think it's very important that we all work together to ensure that the benefits of this hotel are not just felt on the 15 acres behind us, but really felt throughout the whole island of Dominica, whether that's in Roseau or in Marigot or in Canefield or other parts of Dominica, so that really the economic impact of this hotel, the jobs it's creating, the ancillary services, the opportunity for business, I really felt throughout the whole country.
That's news. Chit Chat is next. All right, it's Chit Chat time. We're here with the energetic Mr. Mix. Mr. Wadix has some impressive news to tell you about the Stardom Tent event.
All right, tomorrow night we have in a special edition where we dub Stardom Meets Carnival, and that's right after the opening from 9 p.m., where we actually turn the whole tent around into a carnival bacchanal mood, where we have the first serenade band from Point Michel, and they will inculcate their carnival calypso repertoires. We also have a special section called the Jester's Monarch, sponsored by Rumba Vodka. Will feature Lady V with a popular number, Walk Sock, the mighty DBS Unwanted Jack, for a grand prize of winner take all $500. Nice. Our 15 semi-finalists from the Stardom Tent will also be going back in time with the Dino, also the Natty, General Natty, Aska, Follow, and several of his nostalgic hits, and go way back to the mighty Spencer as we bring back and marry and bridge the old and the new with Mona Hoy and Lord Bingo, major hit Point Michel girls. It promises to be a fun night with excellent stuff from the traditional aspect, including the Boaba, the Sakis Labo Cabwit. It promises to be a real carnival atmosphere at the strip in Lale Kokolubie. Everyone is invited, especially you, my brother.
All right, you heard it right here from the energetic Mr. Mix, Mr. Wadix. This is definitely an event that you don't want to miss. The sports report comes up right after this. First up in sports. A century by Craig Brathwaite helped put Barbados in a comfortable position when they defeated ICC Americas by 171 runs in Friday's game of the Nagico Super 50. Barbados won the toss and elected to bat first and scored 282 for 9. Man of the match Craig Brathwaite had a game high of 108, while Jonathan Carter supported with 57 and Roston Chase 40. Set 283 for victory, Americas fell short and was bowled out for 111 in 33.4 overs. Meantime, on Thursday, we had Trinidad and Tobago winning their match against the Leeward Islands by 11 runs. Nicholas Alexis got 50 for TNT to help them reach 226. Jason Campbell picked up 5 for 37 for Leewards. Set 227 to win, Leewards finished on 215. Their top batsman was Monson Hodge with 82 and Kieran Powell 52. Trinidad and Tobago's Carrie Pear got 4 for 40 and Rayad Emrit 3 for 49. On to volleyball, where home advantage favored Casabou Secondary when they defeated Dominica Grammar School in straight sets in the male and female categories of the Sports Division Secondary Schools Championships on Friday. In the male encounter, CBSS won 3-0 with scores 25-23, 25-19, and 25-15. The females of Casabou Secondary dominated their game 3-0. Final scores 25-20, 25-16, and 25-9. The competition continues on Tuesday. Moving on to football, we can tell you that Buster Warner was awarded easy match points when Element Agency's LA Stars failed to show up for their only match carded for the DFA Division I League on Thursday. Meantime, there were some changes made to the remainder of the fixtures for the matches in the National Leagues of the Dominica Football Association. Gerald George is the Public Relations Officer of the DFA.
Meanwhile, a few changes have been made to the remainder of the fixtures. On Friday, Haitian Angels will come up against MV Maxano Bombers at the Dubla playing field, while at the Pori playing field, Malta Carib Baffin State Football Club will battle Trafalgar Football Club. These matches begin at 6 p.m. On Sunday, Exodus Football Club will take on East Central at the Benjamin Park at 3 p.m.
Next up, we can tell you that Newtown Primary topped the Southwest Zone of the NBD Primary Schools Football Championships on Friday. Newtown finished on top with 15 points, followed by St. Martin Primary on 10. St. Luke's Primary followed with 10 points, and Soufriere was next with 4. Meantime, Grand Forks Primary topped the games in the NBD Primary Schools Football League on Thursday. Grand Forks came first with 6 points. Jones Beaupierre Primary was next with 6 points, but second on goal difference. Casabou's Primary School followed on 3 points. The Dailies and Monjon Primary combined, as well as Saint-Sauveur Primary, finished with 0 points each. Meantime, Grand Forks Primary topped the games in the NBD Primary Schools Football League on Thursday. Grand Forks came first with 6 points. Jones Beaupierre Primary was next with 6 points, but second on goal difference. Casabou's Primary School followed on 3 points. The Dailies and Monjon Primary Schools combined, as well as Saint-Sauveur Primary, finished with 0 points each. The second round of the competition is carded for Wednesday. Meantime, Grand Forks Vipers and Backstreet Bar and Grill will be engaged in intense football action when they meet up in the final of the Confident Yourself White City Football League on Sunday. Both teams proved to be a force to reckon with in the league and will be looking to see who the better team is at the end of the game. The final was originally carded for January 29, but will be played on Sunday at 4 p.m. at Grand Forks Playing Field. Sports continues with this item, where former West Indies coach Phil Simmons has been roped in by the Afghanistan Cricket Board as a consultant for the next 3 series against Zimbabwe, Ireland, and West Indies. According to the report, Simmons will assist the Afghanistan head coach on technical issues. Afghanistan's tour of Zimbabwe starts on February 16 and includes 5 ODIs before they host Ireland in India in March. The 53-year-old was sacked by the WICB in September, 6 months after coaching West Indies to the World T20 title due to differences in culture and strategic approach. Previously, Simmons had a successful stint with Ireland in his 8 years in charge of the team, leading them to win 11 trophies and qualify for every major ICC event. Finally, in sports, there might be some domino slamming action in a community near you as more games are being played around the island in the 2017 White Oak Domino League on Sunday. Here to tell us more about those games is League Coordinator Delvin Esprit.
Non-players from Casabros defeated Layu by 146 points Last night in the White Oak Rum Domino competition in front of a huge crowd in Rondas Bar in Canefield, final scores, non-players 4,001, Layu 3,855. Action will continue on Sunday when Tremors will play Rockers in Paybush, Public Enemies is PD7 in Runners Bar, Fire Service play Domlek Bay Boys, One Case play Hits by Fansu, and Congo Warriors meet Penville Strikers. And in Zone B, Wake Up Stars meet Stars in Portsmouth, Strikers play Valiance in the Kaniago community, Dolphin play Monzan in Mau, Itasi Stars meet non-players in Vickers, and Layu play Laplane in Laplane. Delvin Esper reporting for Mapping Sports.
That's all the sporting highlights for now. Join us next time. We'll hear from our friends at the Met Office for the weather report.
Good evening, Dominica, and welcome to tonight's weather broadcast. I'm your presenter, Marshall Alexander. We begin by taking a look at earlier infrared satellite imagery, and again, a relatively dry atmosphere across the region today as a high-pressure system continues to dominate conditions. Now, taking a look at earlier visible satellite imagery, what it showed, a few low-level clouds moved across the region today, and this resulted in fair to partly cloudy skies across Dominica. Now, taking a look at earlier radar imagery and what it indicated, limited shower activity across the region today as a high-pressure system continued to dominate conditions. Now, tonight's weather is expected to be fair to partly cloudy and breezy at first, becoming increasingly cloudy with a few scattered showers by after midnight. Now, tomorrow's weather is expected to be cloudy with some scattered showers at first, becoming partly cloudy with a few brief scattered showers by afternoon. Sea conditions are expected to be moderate in open water with waves peaking near 8 feet. As a result, small craft operators and sea beavers, you're advised to exercise some caution. Looking ahead to the next 3 days. Tomorrow, as mentioned earlier, cloudy at first with some scattered showers, with an improvement in conditions expected as the day progresses. However, by Sunday, we expect to see an increase in cloudiness, with conditions becoming mostly cloudy with scattered showers and continuing into early Monday morning. However, as the day progresses by Monday, we expect to see a relative improvement in conditions. Breezy conditions can also be expected on Monday. For the rest of the Caribbean, partly cloudy to occasionally cloudy skies, with a few scattered showers can be expected across the central and northern portion of the region, with an improvement in conditions expected across the extreme south. Our international cities forecast, clear skies can be expected in New York and Beijing, partly cloudy skies expected in Miami, London, and Caracas. Sunrise tomorrow will be at 6:44 a.m. and sunset will be at 6:05 p.m. For more information, you can call the weather hotline at 447-5555 or visit our website at weather.gov.dm. Thanks for viewing. Have a good weekend.
To end the news, the headlines again. A $3 million road project coming to Stock Farm. The IRC and the Domlek tariff review matter yet to be resolved, and moves afoot to form a new Salisbury Village Council after 50 years. Feel free to contact us at news@MarpinNews3rdFeb2k17. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Kenny Williams. We thank you for watching. Do have yourself an awesome weekend.